Hello, crypto enthusiasts, NFT maxis, gaming nerds. It's the Jarek Brian Show. My name is Jarek, and on today's show, we have a very special guest, all the way from Vechain. Ukiyoe Warriors is on the show, and guys, how are you doing?
Doing great. Happy to be here.
Did I stick the name right? Please tell me did I stick the landing?
Yeah, bro.
Yeah.
Ukiyoe. Yeah. Hey, you guys, like I said, all the way from Vechain. I love it, right? You guys are coming over here to Polygon, but before we get into all that, right? Before we talk about all those great things you guys are doing, it could be either one of you that started off. What's been kind of your journey all the way here in Web3?
At least, you want me to start?
Yeah, you.
Okay.
You start.
Okay, I'll start.
You started me on the journey too. So,
Yeah. That's all right. So, started with, so I was the one that kind of brought Aelios with me in this Web3 journey. It started, I think it was 2020. Correct me if I'm wrong, Aelios, but I think it was 2020, late 2020, I think. And I started out just investing in a couple cryptos. I came in like right around the time of like Dogecoin, when that like really blew up, and I think a lot of people got into crypto at that time. And I became friends. I got into this friend group through another friend that had like a group chat, and they would talk about all these different cryptos. And two that they were talking a lot about, actually there were three that they were talking a lot about. It was Cardano. Well, it was Dogecoin, but it was also Cardano and Polygon as well. So Matic and ADA. And so I remember I heard about Polygon like way back when I first kind of got into crypto. And so I started out just putting a little bit of money into like Dogecoin, of course, and then also into Cardano, and I think it was Cardano and Vechain, I think were like the very first couple ones I got into. And then, a few months later, as I'm kind of following YouTube videos and reading about these cryptos, I start to kind of learn a little bit more about NFTs, the world of NFTs, and seeing that people were making a lot of money through like NFTs. So that's why I got excited to look into it. But I noticed that Vechain was starting out with their NFTs. There's a marketplace called World of V on Vechain, one of the top marketplaces. And I minted some of their NFTs there. And then eventually they kind of opened up the marketplace to allow other people to kind of apply and become creators on there. And so I just thought it would be fun to do some small pieces of some really cool artwork. And I'm not an artist. I can't draw or anything. So I hit up Aelios because he has been doing artwork for my music, for my art covers for, it was like for quite a while, for a couple of years up to that point. And so we kind of had this idea to have some like Japanese themed, and we can kind of get into why everything is Japanese themed. There's a big reason for that, but
sure.
That was kind of my journey with like getting into Web3. Started out with a couple cryptos, and then saw an opportunity to create some cool artwork and sell those as like one-of-one pieces. And then it kind of grew from there to eventually like a bigger PFP project. But yeah.
Yeah, and Aelios, what about you, buddy?
Yeah, he just kind of dragged me in at first, but I've never been that great at the tech side, but it's been super interesting to actually get to know like the utility of Web3 and blockchain technology since I've gotten in. At first, I was just like, okay, let's just try this out. But yeah, it's been pretty fascinating to get to learn a lot about like how revolutionary this could be for society and stuff. And it's a pretty big thing for an artist like me too, to be able to like actually sell digital artwork rather than just having it basically printed everywhere and like you can just copy the JPEGs. It's actually, you get to actually own the artwork and stuff and be able to do things with it. That's a pretty cool thing that blockchain actually enables, and I don't think a lot of people will understand how big that is, especially for like small artists and stuff to be able to sell that sort of thing. But I've been working with Airworthy for a long time. one of the I don't know if you want me to explain why we kind of do Japanese stuff right now.
Actually, no, you can go let's roll right into it.
Yeah,
we
can talk about that. So because it's a big theme, obviously, with a lot of our artwork. But so me and Airworthy actually met out in Japan originally. It was in Osaka, and we ended up living in Hirakata, which is it's like in between Kyoto and Osaka. Originally, we were missionaries for our church, and so we were just hanging out, preaching about Jesus for like 3 months, and we were just pretty tight. We had like a great time. We had like he's a musical artist, so he does hip hop music and stuff. He's super good too. And that's another thing that we do in our project as well, is kind of offer some hip hop music as well. But there was like this old electric organ in our apartment, and we would make all these beats on them. So like we got super tight, just doing fun stuff like that for a while. And then after we both got home, we ended up both being from Utah, and so we were able to meet up and just kind of kept in touch. But yeah, he did a lot of music. I was doing art and stuff, so I would end up doing a lot of covers for him, and that's when he kind of started getting into blockchain, and I kind of got involved there. And that's like, we have a lot of passion and love for Japan. Obviously, like I didn't really get into anything Japanese before I actually lived there. I haven't watched like any animes besides Pokemon, Dragon Ball Z and stuff. I didn't even know it counted. So it wasn't until I actually moved to Japan that I found a real love for the culture, and there's a lot of meaning and culture behind even the anime and like everything that they do. A lot of the history and stuff that I fell in love with. So like when we were talking about what we want to do for a serious project, we both have experience with Japan. We're both fluent in the language as well. So we wanted to kind of make a love letter to Japan in a lot of ways. And like, so the art Ukiyoe Warriors is based on, Ukiyoe is traditional Japanese art. It's the woodblock print, and that's what inspired the style in the first place. So if you see any of those old pictures that are woodblock prints, that's called Ukiyoe, and that's what inspired it in the first place.
Yeah.
And we that inspired it in first, and also just like to do something based on like old feudal Japan. Like the samurai are epic, so we wanted to do something with that. We wanted to explore all the folklore. We have an author on our team that's also like creating a lot of lore, so we found that it would be a really good opportunity to explore all these different things that we're very familiar with, have a lot of passion for.
Oh yeah, that's really good, because like people would assume it would be just inspired by kind of like anime, but I'd like to just like inspired by the actual like culture and kind of things like that. So no, that's really cool, because like I said, like everybody's just kind of like going off like the anime, but really interesting to see that it's actually based off culture. So yeah, man, hats off to you guys about with all that though. But tell us more about the Warriors, Airworthy. Like what exactly are you guys like trying to accomplish, and what exactly are you guys?
Yeah, so we started with the Ukiyoe Warriors project, the PFP project, in I think it was March. What month was it? It was February. That's right, February of almost 2 years ago. So like this next February will be 2 years, and we have 3,307 of them. Like Aelios was saying, we wanted it to be ukiyo-e styled, like focused on the Japanese culture. So we have kind of a few different characters in there that are basically like samurai characters, with a lot of detail. I mean, the art is like something we really focus on in our project. Like first and foremost, like we want it to look really nice. And that's something you can see, I think, with all of our work that we do, all of our collections. Aelios is literally like a perfectionist. Like I know a lot of people say like they're perfectionists, but like literally like it takes a long time, because you can zoom in and see the quality, the detail. I mean, the amount of hours he puts in it is insane. But he also talked about how we have a book. So we have an author on our team who has written and published a couple books, and we brought him on the team pretty early on, and I would say it's one of our big focuses as well. is our novel, and he's been working on it for basically when we started the project. He started working on it, and if I remember correctly, I think he's at like 169 pages so far, which I think is like 60% of the way. So this is like a big novel. Like we're kind of taking lore to like the next level of like a project. This is something that is a big focus for us, that we're not only introducing to Web3 and using it as a way to like benefit our holders, but this is something that we want to have under like our business and to sell publicly to help raise funds for future like initiatives, and also introduce those people. There'll be like little things here and there to kind of like easily introduce and kind of like introduce people to Web3 and see what we're doing in a seamless way, where they can just kind of come into the project. They don't need to like spend anything, but they can be part of the community. And so the novel is something that's a big thing of ours, a big goal. And I think how close is he to finishing, Aelios? Do you know?
Yeah, he said he's over.
I think he's over 60% of the way.
Like, it's gonna be the size of the first Harry Potter. Like, some people think lore, and they think of like cool little details that kind of go as a backstory to the NFT project. Like, there's a whole novel behind it. He has real characters and everything. There's like a full magic system and world building and everything. Like, there's a full thing going on there. There's a lot of thought that goes behind not only like the visuals, but everything that goes behind that in the lore as well. So I mean, we're trying to like create a whole world here, like, you know, something that can be a basis for all sorts of different like projects and ideas and stuff that we can explore in the future. It's our whole IP.
One thing I remembered what I was gonna say.
Sure.
So what we're doing with the book, we're doing it in like a few different formats. So like we'll have physical copies of it that will be sold, and then we're also planning for this to be an ebook and also an audiobook. So we'll have we're gonna make sure that we have like good voice acting for it, narrating. We want kind of all the different ways of to have the book. Yeah.
No, that's really cool. I like that, right? Also, because like I said, not a lot of people have a time to read. Pop it in your audiobook, drive somewhere. Right. I totally 100%. You're actually one of the first people to actually do that. I haven't really heard anybody. Everybody's talked about, which is great, right? A physical, right? Because we still need to kind of have like that Web2 connection, right? But also, you know, audiobooks too as well. No, I think you guys are one of the first. Like I said, I may not know everything, right? But like, I've talked to a lot of projects, and I haven't heard anybody bringing an audiobook. It's like, I've had projects doing something similar to what you guys are doing, but everyone's mentioned a comic and, you know, NFT comics and stuff like that, but no one has really done an audiobook. So hats off to you on that. And Aelios, will you be doing the artwork for the novel? I'm sorry.
I think I'd like to collaborate with some other artists to kind of explore some different styles, but yeah, I'll be absolutely doing a lot of illustrations for it as well. So like, it will feature some of the NFTs, and I think we're going to be working with community, do some events to see what kind of works on out that way. We're still exploring lots of ideas, but yeah, I'm absolutely going to do some of the illustrations as well. We do have another artist that we worked with in the past as well. His name's Handy Wormhole. He does some pretty cool pieces for us as well, so he'll be involved with that too. You know, we'll be exploring all sorts of ideas, but yeah, absolutely, I'll be doing.
Yeah, sure. And like you said, involving the community as well, with like when we start to get to the stage of like finalizing the cover and different things that we add in it, like, and art pieces, we want to involve the community as much as possible in there too. Yeah.
Good. No, I like that. And as far as the lore, right? You keep it, like you said, like the lore and everything like that. Like, what is exactly the lore? Is there like a kind of like a story between like good and evil, like, or like what's kind of like the story that you guys are going to be what you can release right now? I know there's a lot still to be kind of done, right? But what's kind of like these stories in this Ukiyoe Warrior space?
So you can actually go onto our Discord and read it, like what we have right now. It's going to go through an editing process as well, but we do have it on a website that you can access right now. So if anyone's interested in checking that out, absolutely, they can see what we've done so far. As far as like kind of what's kind of going on, so it's set in feudal Japan.
Sure.
And it's like the original Ukiyoe Warriors PFP project features like actual historical clans, and our author did a lot of research to accurately historically represent them and it basically represents a conflict between men. And also, our fifth project is about yokai, which are these or demons and that. So it ends up turning into also like all these kind of weird things are happening, and it's turning into a conflict between these different samurai clans and between also these demons as well coming from this other land. So it's that's kind of a little pitch. Like there's all the full story. You know, I don't want to give away too many spoilers, but yeah, that's kind of what's going on.
Yeah. Before I say the Airworthy, you want to comment on that or anything?
I was just gonna say, like, I mean, obviously I'm biased because I'm part of the project, but honestly, I've been so impressed with our author. His name's Alex Porter, by the way. I've been so impressed with Alex's work. Like, I knew he was good, obviously, or else I wouldn't have invited him to be. But like everything he's been doing is surpassed like our expectations. Like you get really hooked into it, and again, like Aelios said, he researches to make sure. He already had a good grasp of like Japanese culture and history, but he really like researches a lot of little details that, you know, connect with like what happened in feudal Japan. Obviously there's like the folklore stuff involved too, but the stories, like it's good. It really like brings you into the world.
It's very creative, and like if anyone's familiar with like a lot of fantasy works and stuff, Brandon Sanderson is a really big name in fantasy, and like his style is very reminiscent of it, like of Brandon Sanderson, I would say. So if anyone like enjoys that, it's very engaging, very punctual, and it's very interesting.
Yeah, and that's like I said, I like that. I love Japanese like culture, like Japanese traditional like tattoo work. I have a lot of that as well. So no, I totally like into that whole thing. And also too, you guys are talking about, of course, you're gonna have like the book, right? The comic, and, things like that. And also too, you're also a producer with music. Now I see all these things, right? And I start thinking like maybe I start kind of thinking of the vision where you might go, right? I know there's not much you can say now, but is there a possibility, or you guys have floated around the idea once, of course, like I said, this is down the road. Are you guys thinking about doing like animated films or anything like that down the road? I don't know how much you can tell me though, but I kind of getting where you guys are trying to go, but am I kind of on the right path a little bit?
Yeah, Aelios,
we would love that. That would be a dream come true. Absolutely. So earlier on, actually, shortly after we came out with Ukiyoe Warriors, the first collection, we worked with an animation studio who made like a 60-second clip. And it was together and and like super exciting, and it was way fun to do. It was also super expensive, so
yeah.
It's hard to do that consistently, especially for like we want to do a full animated series or something. So like that's something that's going to be a little bit down the road, but absolutely, like we would love to do something like that. Like we're interested in basically being a publishing company of all sorts of creative works, including the music, including the art, including the literature. We want to publish things that will be entertaining for all sorts of people. So, I mean, like, if we could go into animation as well, that would be amazing.
Yeah.
And I also feel circle back. You're talking about music, and when you guys come out, like, what the music kind of like at your project?
Yeah, so this is something I've brainstormed like crazy on, because I've been making music and performing for a long time, and at the very beginning it wasn't even really like a thought. I don't think from the beginning when we first made the project, I didn't even think about how could I use my music for the project. It was just kind of a separate thing, but I have done a few things, and I guess you could say I'm still kind of experimenting. But we've done music NFTs as rewards. We've done some things where, like, if you collect, for example, I can't remember how it went exactly, but if you collected like a warrior from each like clan, and they had like this trait or like a couple different traits, and you got it, then I would like send you this exclusive like NFT song that I minted that there weren't very many of. And so I've done a few things as like rewards to use the song NFTs. And I mean, what else have I done? I've recently started to kind of go like cross chain. So like sound.xyz, if you've heard of that. I did a song there recently where, and the way that I kind of used it to connect with my community is I would have it as a whitelist. I'd allow like our holders to be on the whitelist if they want, where I would do it as like cheap as possible. Just like, I mean, they have to like pay for the fees, but it's basically free. And then hoping, you know, there's no like guarantee there or whatever, because I'm early on in like the Web3 music, but like using that as hopefully they can sell that later if they want to or something like that. So, and then I've also done a song release on Cardano as well.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they have a marketplace over there called the Record Store. And so I recently did a song that was filled with like shout outs of like our community members. And yeah, got them like where it's basically free on the whitelist, and then sold it to other people. So kind of experimenting with that. I'm kind of like still kind of in the experimentation mode with like music NFTs and finding ways that can be beneficial for the community, and hopefully would be cool if that could be another like source of income for, you know, beyond like Spotify and Apple Music and stuff like that. But I'm constantly thinking about how else can I use the music within Web3.
Yeah, no, that's I'm saying like that's pretty cool. Like, you know, the music production part of it. Of course, we're going to be it's kind of a new kind of industry in a sense of like, you know, of course, artists on the blockchain, music on the blockchain. It's going to be a very interesting kind of realm that we're going to kind of cross here in these next couple of years. So I'm kind of very interested to see how that kind of plays out. But you guys are on Vechain, right? And a lot of people don't know that there is NFTs on Vechain. So can you kind of explain to everybody kind of watching this, right? Like, how is Vechain, and either one of you can jump in on this, how is the Vechain NFT ecosystem?
I'll go. So it's small. It has been small, obviously, compared to most other chains. But I mean, everyone in there, they like, most people in there, they love the community. Like, we've loved it since day one. Tight knit community. A lot of people were just wanting to uplift and help each other. Maybe like early on, maybe it wasn't so much like that, where it was kind of a little bit more tribal and things like that. But for a long time, it's seemed like everyone is there to just uplift each other. Like if one of us from another project is in another space, someone else will jump in there and support. And like, that's just kind of how it is. It's like a big family. It's called VFam, and it really does feel like a family. But yeah, obviously, like I said, I started out just kind of by, it kind of naturally came where we decided Vechain, just because I was an investor, and then I found out about NFTs, minted some, and then, I can actually be like a creator. So I kind of like created this team. That's kind of how it started. But I'm glad, like looking back, that it was also Vechain, because there's also like some cool and nice things about the blockchain. So for people that don't know, it is Vechain is a fork of Ethereum. So it kind of forked off of Ethereum, and it uses Solidity. And the way that it's set up, it's pretty nice. For example, one of the things in Vechain that's used a lot is fee delegation. And so pretty much I think there's 3 main marketplaces on Vechain, and pretty much I think every single one uses fee delegation, which means they cover they're kind of like the third party paying for your fees. And so most of what you're doing when you're like navigating, selling, like listing and stuff, it's basically all paid for, which is a nice thing to have, of course, because sometimes it can get pricey. I mean, especially with Ethereum. The other thing with that is, my mind just went blank.
Yeah, no.
I mean, I was going to say, they have really low gas fees for a lot of reasons. One of them is like a 2-token system, and they pay gas fees with VThor, which is it's basically dedicated to gas fees, and it generates just by holding Vechain. So I mean, it's a pretty interesting system that keeps things very efficient, keeps gas fees very low, and all the marketplaces have been willing to just cover the fees anyway. So it's been very interesting.
Yeah, one thing to note too, I was just remembered. Like even if it wasn't covered, but I mean it's still nice that it can get covered, especially if you're doing lots of transactions. But it's also really cheap. I mean, like I found that as well with like Polygon. Like fees they're not gonna like break the bank. I mean in Vechain it's like a fraction of like a cent or something with a lot of transactions that you're doing. I guess not all of them, but and then yeah, as Aelios said, you're able to generate just by holding Vet in your wallet. It constantly generates Vitho, the gas token. Yeah. So that's one cool thing that's kind of with Vechain that worked out with doing NFTs on there.
No, and so everybody says, yeah, like Vechain small, right? Because I talked to a couple of Vechain guys, right? Vechain small, Vechain's this, that, and this, right? And there's not kind of much there, but there are some quality projects there. But what I do notice is there's something different about y'all in the sense that the Vechain Foundation actually supports a lot of you guys, right? And it actually takes care of you guys. So if you can kind of explain kind of like, the people kind of watch either one of you, like how supportive has the Vechain Foundation been to you guys and other projects too as well?
Very supportive. So early on, it felt a little bit separate. Like the foundation was kind of separate. They didn't really it seemed like they didn't really want to be too much part of the community, like the NFT side of things and getting involved on like spaces and things like that. And that was a discussion for a while. Like, how come, they're not, how can we never see the foundation? How come they're not like, where's like Sunny Liu, like the CEO? But the really cool thing about it is that after a while of this, like when this was brought to their attention and, like as it was kind of talked about, it kind of went up to like the CEO and stuff where it was like, hey, like, can we have you guys be more part of this like community and everything? And they heard it and they decided to make the changes right there. And Sunny Liu himself, the CEO, I mean, you'll see him in spaces now with like the community. You'll see like the foundation account. You've probably seen it like lately. You'll see them within communities. They were in a space yesterday, actually, like a community space. It was hosted by just a member of the community. And it's been huge. Like their support has been massive. Like it's really helped start to grow the community. Something really cool, for example, we were recently at NFT XLV, the NFT convention over there about 2 or 3 months ago. And Sunny Liu actually basically funded it. He put in some money so that a bunch of projects actually, I don't know, I can't remember how many, maybe like 10 or 8, something like that, for us to fly out to NFT XLV, paid for like our spots, and it's been really cool just to see. They're very involved in the discussion of like, being within the community, hearing people out and helping projects. I mean, we even have a UFC ticket giveaway going right now from our account. And that was because of the foundation. They have that partnership with UFC. And it's just like unreal. Like they're willing to, give out tickets to give away to the community and just like further, grow that way. So it's been really big. Aelios, I don't know, from your point of view.
Hey, how's your experience been?
I'm wearing a UFC Vechain hat right now.
Oh, there we go. Yeah.
That wasn't actually even intentional, but I mean, like they see active wallets. They pay attention to who's active in the community and stuff. And like they came to Salt Lake City once and they hosted us to, hang out at UFC and stuff. And they'll do little stuff for like that. And I know it's not just for us. They've had other community members and stuff that they've given tickets to and stuff. And they try to support in lots of different ways. I think the NFT XLD, going to Las Vegas and be able to rep with Cardano and these other projects and stuff, that was a big thing. And the fact that they were willing to spend all that. And apparently Sunny Liu is very interested in all this stuff. So it's it's very cool. I think they're very, very supportive, especially as of late.
No, that's great to hear. And a lot of people know that they are partnered with Vechain. I had to remind a couple of people on a space the other day in Polygon, because I said I'm bringing you guys on, and I'm going to start exploring the Vechain blockchain too as well, because I like going cross-chain, right? And they're like, we mean UFC. And I'm like, yeah, man, they've had this partnership for a long while. This is not new, right? And they're like, oh, really? I'm like, yeah, man, they're Vechain. Like I said, Vechain, I know it's like kind of supply and everything like that, but they got other stuff cooking too as well. Like, pay attention, man, because like they've had this partnership. It wasn't just like this is new. Like I said, they've had this for quite a while though. But in kind of talking about all that, right? You guys said you love it on Vechain, right? Everything like that. But you guys are coming over here to Polygon, right? As like another kind of collection, right? And one, like, why did you choose Polygon, right? And two, like, how has the experience been so far that you guys have kind of like, I've seen you guys in a couple spaces, right? How has that experience been so far?
Yeah, it's been great. So this is something that we kind of expanding out to another, going cross-chain has been something that we've had in mind for like a long time. We didn't know exactly when or like how to do it or where to go, but we always wanted to expand. Like, I've been a collector in a few different blockchains for a long time, and I always, wanted to and talked with the team, and they were excited about doing, but we wanted to wait for a long time, think about it, see what the best way to go about it. And we recently decided Polygon for a couple of different reasons. So first, if you guys know Donketsu, that's on Polygon.
Yep.
We go back probably about a year and a half ago. Collaborating with them, we became really good friends and had the first collaboration actually between Vechain and Cardano, and it was I would say it was definitely like a success. We saw a bunch of new people come into our community, and we had a bunch of people go into their community, and ever since then we've had this friendship. I've gotten on like multiple phone calls with like Zushan, one of the founders of Donketsu, several times since we kind of started that collaboration, that friendship. We saw him at it wasn't NFT LV, it was CNFT Con a year ago, and we were there and got to see him there too. So kind of seeing them branch out to Polygon, that was like, when that first happened, we were like, okay, let's see how this goes. I want to see like what happens and what it's like in Polygon. This is a good kind of like opportunity for us to see how goes on in Polygon. So I minted project. I think they were the first project I minted actually on Polygon, and getting involved with the community there. I really liked just like how embraced they were when they entered in Polygon. It seemed like there were a lot of new people that were like, well, I don't know this project, they're coming from Cardano, but like a lot of people really embraced it and really heard them out. I could tell. I went in a bunch of spaces when they were first kind of introducing themselves to Polygon, to the community, and I love the reaction, and like people were just open to it, because I've seen sometimes in other spaces and things like that where, I don't know, just you get this vibe of like, you're from somewhere else. Like, I don't,
Hey.
Yeah, exactly. I've on that vibe a lot on spaces, and so this was a good opportunity to see how Polygon would react, and I just loved it. Like, people were open-minded, and they wanted to hear them out and see what they were about. And since then, after I saw him in spaces and things, I got on some video calls with Zushan, and I was like, hey, I just want to know, like, how has your experience been in Polygon? And what's it been like for you? And everything was just like super positive. He gave like all his reasons of like why he went to Polygon and how it's been for him, and that was really good, just kind of like getting that straight from him. And then continuing, I got in several other projects after that, and I jumped in their discords, and I got to really get to know even more Polygon community myself firsthand. So that was a big thing, and then a big reason. And then also, like I said, I like how the fees are like not expensive. You can still use marketplaces like OpenSea, which I think is a pretty big deal. I think it's awesome that there's Polygon NFTs on OpenSea, because it's like I could be wrong, but I think the most used like marketplace, and people are used to being able to use like MetaMask to like connect to OpenSea and use that. That combined with like the low fees were a couple of other things that stood out to me that I liked.
Yeah, no, and, right. And how's it been for you, Aelios?
No, yeah, it's been awesome. Like I feel like the value of cross-chain is kind of built into the community from the technology as well, but like people are really passionate about that, and they're very proud of their blockchain as well. So like we came in, people were like super excited that we were actually like, oh, more projects are coming into Polygon. You know, some people are like, yeah, go away, but they were like excited that we were coming. So like, I mean, people have been very enthusiastic. I really like the community. I feel like there's a lot that we can get on, and also like I mean, the love they've had for what we're doing as well, like our passion for Japan and stuff, people have been really engaged with that. And so, I mean, I felt very welcomed. People have been very appreciative and very complimentary of the art as well, and everything that we're doing. So it's been a really good experience so far. Absolutely.
Yeah. I also got to give a big shout out to Sid, actually, from Polygon Labs, because Zushan got us connected with him, and that was awesome. Like, he immediately wanted to get on a video call, and he wanted to hear what we were about, and then immediately started getting us like with the right connections. Like, you just don't see that much with like other like blockchains when you go in. Like, we came in and we were just like, here, like, get in contact with this person, get in contact with this person, and it was just like already this like I can see how similar, you know, like that feeling that we have in Vechain, like we feel it the same here in Polygon as well, which we're excited about our Vechain community, you know, as they're meeting more and more Polygon people, and they're seeing that as people from Polygon are coming into our Discord, and it's just been a good fit. Like since the announcement, we're like, yeah, this was the right move.
No, 100%. It got me looking into actually Vechain too as well, because like, oh, okay, cool, another chain to explore, and you know, to see some cool people and meet and connect, and you know what I mean, network, and kind of like, you know, build some cool stuff, right? And you guys are coming up, and let me just kind of clear this up. When exactly are you guys coming to Polygon? Have a project on here?
Next 2 or so months.
Yeah.
That's what we haven't given an exact date so far. We're hoping, like, I mean, earliest would be December, and if not, we're going to be probably.
Oh yeah, no, man, definitely take your time. Definitely take your time with that. But so you're gonna have the collection on Vechain, right? And you're gonna have the collection over here on Polygon, right? Are there gonna be kind of like different perks for each one, or they're gonna be kind of like interwoven together, same universe, everything like that? Just kind of explain that if you could.
Yeah, so the next collection, it's called Ukiyoe. So the Ukiyoe collection, actually, real quick, maybe we should give like a little background of like what it is. So as Aelios was saying, we have a collection on Vechain called the Yokai collection, and yokais are basically, you know, like he was saying, from Japanese folklore, demons, and then there's like different spirits that take on like animal forms and things like that. So we have a few different characters that are in this collection. So we basically kind of consider that as like the male side of like of the yokai in this universe that we have. The Ukiyoe are basically like the female part. So we have those same characters that are featured in the yokai collection, but female obviously, and more. Aelios is better at explaining this, but like it's more like elegant. The yokai are kind of like rough and rugged and like a darker kind of features, and the Ukiyoe have they're more like elegant, a little bit more prettier looking. You can see, I mean, this collection's the first one where it's more like in the anime, like, you know, Japanese pop culture kind of style. So yes, we're going to have the collection on Polygon, where it'll only be, I mean, I say only because I feel like it's relatively small compared to most collections, but 1,111 of them. And then we are going to do some airdrops that are Ukiyoe, and they're going to be on Vechain, but nothing's going to be exactly the same. Nothing's going to be identical. It'll be also a small supply. We don't have an exact amount yet because people, our holders need to like claim them that qualify for it. But we will have a small supply on Vechain as well. That'll be just airdropped. The sale will be on Polygon. And yeah, we have a few different things. So for example, like on Vechain, we have it set up where a couple of our collections are already stakeable on one of the marketplaces on Vechain called Black V Market, and they have their BVC coin that you can earn for staking. We set up a pool for our Warriors collection. We're planning to do it for our Yokai collection, and we already kind of had it planned. Yeah, we can also do it for the Ukiyoe collection. This isn't something where like, we're not promising, you're not going to make your return on your investment. It's nothing like we're not promising you can make a lot of money or anything like that, but it's just something a little bit, something cool you can do. It's non-custodial, so you can still do whatever what you want with them, list them for sale. That's something that we are planning to do with the Ukiyoe collection on the Vechain side. And then on the Polygon side, the holders will still they'll still have the perks of being involved with the book, with the novel. So we are going to be giving the ebook out to any of our holders. So like if you have a Ukiyoe, like we'll be giving you an ebook. We are exploring how maybe we want to use it as an NFT as well. So that's a possibility as well. You might be getting the NFT of it, but the ebook, you'll be getting a copy of the ebook. And then for like the actual copy of the book, if you want to have that, we'll ship you a free copy. If you're a holder of 3 Warriors and you have a Yokai and you also have a Ukiyoe. So if you kind of have all that, you can get the actual physical copy sent to you. There's a couple other things that we're planning with Polygon. We do have a partnership that will be announced probably in the middle of this month. So we're not going to announce that yet, but it's a really cool partnership that will provide additional utility for holding a Ukiyoe on Polygon. So yeah, and then as well, exploring the music. We also have discounts. That's something I feel like we should probably mention as well. So Aelios does, he's done a lot of commissions for holders within our community, way cheaper than what he normally does for people like in IRL. Aelios, if you're still there, like
I'm still there.
Yeah, what do you normally charge like way more and like to the people outside of our community, right?
Yeah, I mean, usually, so like I'm traditionally trained. So like I used to do tons of portraits and everything. And I still do. Usually that's like anywhere between like $300, $500 or something like that. I'm doing it for way cheaper. And it's pretty negotiable. Like it's less than $100 usually. So that I'm doing from community.
Getting ripped off.
Custom pieces. Yeah.
But yeah, so the art, we also have our other artist that he mentioned, Handy. He also gives really big discounts on art. A couple other discount things that we do with my music. I've actually done a lot of music for projects. I want to say maybe like over 30 now. My producer and I, we've been hired to like make music for different NFT projects, a few different crypto projects, and then people that are just like want like a personalized, customized song. And that's something else that we offer as well. All the discount kind of rates are in Discord depending on like what you hold. But if you want a song for yourself or for your project or your company or whatever, we'll give big discounts there. And then also because we speak Japanese, I've actually, like, one of my jobs is I tutor and I teach Japanese. And so I also give really big discounts to our holders for if you want to have like one-on-one Japanese lessons. So a few other perks that obviously it's available for like Polygon side and Vechain side.
No, yeah, and if you can kind of, Aelios, can you kind of go into like, you're thinking of the elegance of the female collection. Can it kind of go more kind of into that kind of female collection?
Yeah, absolutely. Like he kind of mentioned, it's a continuation of our second collection, the Yokai collection. They're just like straight monsters, you know, and I kind of consider them almost like the foot soldiers because, I mean, like I said in the lore, these guys are going up against some of the samurai, and it turns out to a big war in the lore. So, but the Kijo are kind of the ones that are actually in charge. They have a lot more elegance. So in like the Yokai collection, you'll see they're all in this more animalistic form, like just actual true monsters, while the females are more humanistic. A lot of yokai in Japanese folklore have the ability to shapeshift into humans, so we're kind of taking advantage of that. But yeah, like there's a lot more elegance behind it. You'll also notice in all sorts of details. Like in the yokai collection, all their weapons are kind of tattered. Their clothing is a little bit tattered. In the female collection, the Kijo, it's much cleaner, much prettier, much more decorative. You'll notice that in all sorts of different details. It's also like this collection I have put far more detail and time into than any other collection that I've done. It's about like it's a far smaller collection. Like Yokai was originally 4,444, and this one's 1,111. And like the actual just raw amount of traits, we're doing about 2 or 3 times as many. So there's a lot more variety in a smaller collection. Not to mention also like I put far more time into each trait more than any other one. Like all the shading, all the lighting and stuff. It's a very complicated process. So it's very complicated layering, especially compared to anything else that I've done. So it's going to be a very full out. Everything I can put into this collection, I'm trying to put into it. If you know what I mean. So.
Yeah, no, guys, I'm liking like everything I'm hearing. Right, I'm definitely kind of like looking forward to you guys kind of come over here and being in spaces and everything like that. And definitely want to see you guys kind of like watch the kind of the journey of you guys kind of building kind of over time. I appreciate you guys kind of coming on and explaining everything here with Vechain, Polygon, and everything like that. But as for both of you, right, like where do you guys want to see this project a year from now? And like I said, any one of you can start though, but where do you hope to be a year from now?
Me? Okay. So a year from now, that's a good question. So, I mean, he talked a lot about like kind of becoming this published company where we publish all sorts of different mediums of art. And I think like I don't know how long that exactly will take, but it could be in a year. But we want to be able to like publish other works of art as well, and not just within Web3 but Web2 as well, and also use what we have, our work, like I said, with the book being one of them. Other way, like we also have like our merch and things like that. And I think in a year from now, I would really like to see a lot of people coming in from the real world, like, Web 2, through because of like our other works of art. Like for example, like with my music, like having people come through because of my music, having people come through because of the book, other art, Aelios's artwork, and grow the project, not just being this only Web3, but being considered like a project that's within both.
We want Web3 to be seamlessly integrated into the like Web2 work that we do as well. So like that's definitely something that we do. I think in a year we should have our book published as well. Mm-hmm. So we should be focusing on some of that sort of stuff. We have other, like, I think this is going to be our last major paid collection or anything. I don't know. I don't think we're planning on doing any other major paid collections.
Yeah, for the foreseeable future, at least.
But we are planning on doing more artwork and stuff. We have some exciting things. We have, we've had a roadmap where we've talked about doing what's called a Descendants collection, which is kind of a futuristic version of everything that we've done. Something that's going to be like chronologically further down in the same lore. As well as a breeding event between Kijo and Yokai. We've thought about doing a few of these different things, and we're hoping to do both of those within this next year as well.
Yeah.
So a few different things that we're going to have, like our holders to be engaged with as well. We're also in the middle of developing a website, and we're hoping to have a lot of interactive features on that. A lot of stuff we can't really announce specifically.
Sure.
We want to be very careful about what we actually promise, but there's a lot of exciting things that we're looking into doing things with that as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, guys, and like I said, I appreciate you guys coming on, man. This is, like I said, I love the Vechain world, and I'm definitely going to be exploring a lot more soon. But I do appreciate you both coming on, and guys, this is going to wrap kind of our show. Yeah, follow me on X, guys, if you like more content like this. Also, follow these guys too on X too as well. They're going to be around. You're going to see them in Polygon Spaces. If you like content like this, please like, comment, share, subscribe, download, and I will see you guys around in the next one. Take care.